Alright, so you really like playing Counter-Strike too. Maybe you're a new player trying to get better at the game, or you are a player that's been playing the game for a while, but you're just not winning enough, or you're not where you want to be. So in today's video, I'm going to be helping you guys out with some tips and tricks that'll help you get better at the game instantly. So without any further ado, let's get started. And I want to start off with a really basic but very important aspect of Counter-Strike, and that is crosshair placement. So with new players, I've noticed that when they're moving around the map, their crosshair is in the most weirdest places possible. So maybe when they're coming out of aim in, they're looking around, but their crosshair is on the ground, or maybe at hip level. So you want to aim for the head, and you want to have crosshair placement that is for the head level. But that's not everything. You also want to place your crosshair in places where the enemy could possibly be. So let's say you are coming out of Palace as a terrorist. So let's say you enter. So you want to start aiming at places where the opponent can actually be. So if he pushed up Palace, maybe he's hiding in one of these corners. So you want to check for that. And then you're holding for the swing. Maybe he's pushing. And when you come out, you're first aiming for jungle, then bottom stairs, sandwich. Maybe he's holding one of these cheeky angles, and you want to clear close Palace, and that's crosshair placement. You're placing your crosshair in places that the enemy is actually going to be in. So when you come out, you really clear stuff. You're aiming at default, triple, CT, ticket booth, ninja, firebox, and then you clear under Palace. So crosshair placement and pre-fire, all of that is going to improve with you just playing the game. Next up is actually a very silly thing to do, but I see a lot of players doing it, and that is immediately crouching as soon as you start shooting or you see an enemy. And they just, they're moving around normally and they just crouch. And this is actually a really bad habit, guys. Like when you crouch, you're not only messing up your recoil pattern. So let's say you started shooting and then you crouch. It's not gonna help. And it also makes it very easy for the opponent to hit you. Since when you're crouched, your model is big and it's wider. They just have to click your head. When you're crouched, you move really slowly, so you can't really, make it really tough for them to hit you. So if they're AWPing or rifling, even if they have a pistol, and you just crouch in front of them, it's really easy. But when you're standing up, you can, counter strafe, AD around with movement to make it hard for the opponent to hit their shots on you. So that's tip number 2, to stop crouching as soon as you, see the enemy. Tip number 3 is actually utility usage. And I see a lot of players, they buy a lot of stuff. They buy a smoke, molly, flash, grenade, whatever. But they don't really have a clear goal or objective in mind on where they're actually going to use it, and they just dump their utility randomly. For example, actually let me switch to the CT side here. So let's say you're the B player on Mirage and you have everything on your utility belt except the decoy. So at the start of the round, it's very common for people to molly the apps. Now, why are we actually doing that? We're doing that to 1, stop the rush, and 2, if the enemies actually decide to rush, they take some damage and then come through that molly. So it's easier for you to kill them when they actually do get to, van or B side. That applies to all your utility. Let's say you're using a flash somewhere, have a goal in mind, have an objective in mind with what you want to do while you throw that flashbang. Are you flashing a teammate to peek some angle? Are you flashing for yourself to peek some angle? Because if you just throw a random flash somewhere and nothing happens after that, that's a wasted flashbang. So for example, let's say you're standing in this position, you can aim right here, and then you can actually flash for your teammate to peek apps. So let's say the enemies are holding like this, they're gonna be blind, just like I was, the whole screen. And if your teammate is holding this angle, you could throw that flash for him to peek. And after that, boom, he gets a bunch of kills and you are the best support player in the world. But that's actually supposed to be your goal, to use the flashbang to do something. Now let's say you're playing B short and you flash mid like this. Now you want to actually peek after the flashbang because that's why you threw it, right? You just don't want to throw random utility, and that's very important when it comes to smokes as well. So when you throw a smoke somewhere, just have a clear goal in mind. Maybe I throw a smoke in BFs. It's maybe to delay the terrorists from coming into B side, you know. Maybe the time is low on the clock and I just throw the smoke, so they have to push through it and it's easier for me to kill them. Similarly, on the T side, when you throw smokes, you're blocking angles. In the A execute, let's say you throw A execute, right? So you throw the stair smoke, you throw the jungle smoke. All of these smokes are actually supposed to block angles. So you can execute the side, you know, get a plant without actually fighting all the angles. You throw the CT smoke to avoid the AWPer from picking you, right? That's the whole point of throwing utility. Now grenades are also really helpful. They do a lot of damage and they're very useful. If you know where the enemy is, maybe you have some info and you know you want to just do some damage to them. So that's utility usage. Number 4 is actually communication. So when you're in a game, that's face it, premier, matchmaking, whatever it is, you actually want to communicate with your teammates and let them know about what's happening in the game and just be helpful, in my opinion. In general, let's say you're playing connector on CT side. If you spot someone mid, let them know how many there are and where they're going. So if you see them going towards catwalk, you tell them, all right, careful, be short, they're coming towards catwalk. If you see them coming towards nest or connector, you tell your A players to come help you. Be a good player, you know, and just communicate what you see. Don't really panic. Even if someone killed you, let's say you took the nest peek, you died. Don't be frustrated. Don't say, you know, unnecessary stuff in the mic. Oh, that guy's cheating. He just deleted me. Let your teammates know about where the players are and what they can do about it. So when it comes to communication, I think there are levels to communication. As a new player, you just spot stuff and you communicate to your team, okay, one top mid. But when you get better at the game, you can actually communicate stuff like, alright, multiple mid, but with Tech 9s or Deagles, they're on eco. And that's how you actually become good at the game, by, you know, communicating well and winning more rounds. Because if your teammate knows the information, he's gonna play better. Versus when he's clueless, he does not have any idea what's going on around the map, because not everyone is looking at the radar always. So you just want to use your mic and give out precise info about what's happening. For example, maybe there is a kit on the ground. You can let your teammate know in a 1v1 situation. All right, kit's on B shot. While you're rotating, take it so you can, you know, defuse the bomb quickly. Maybe there's a gun on the way. Maybe the opponent is low on HP, so you let them know, you know, opponent is red, maybe one bullet. That's all helpful information. So try and improve your communication skills, and that'll win you a lot more rounds. Because of course you want to be a good player and you want to win rounds on your own, but there are going to be times where you die and your teammates are going to win the rounds for you. So that's really helpful in my opinion, for your teammates and for yourself. Number 5 is going to be to just not panic and be calm in game. I've seen a lot of players, when they spot someone, they just go ham on the spray. Don't go bonkers like that. Calm down, be confident, and that's gonna help you out a lot more than any aim training, any tips video. You don't want to panic. It's a game. You're here to have fun. You're here to enjoy. So stop being afraid, stop panicking, and don't be afraid to die. I don't want you to throw the round, but I don't want you to be, you know, afraid to die either. Stop baiting your teammates. Stop just, you know, hiding the whole round. Try to play the game, try to do things, you know, try new things, and that's how you'll get better at the game. So being calm, being confident, not really panicking, and stop giving up after losing 3 rounds in the game. Like, CS is a beautiful game. Comebacks can happen from any scoreline, from any situation. So be confident, do not give up, and just have fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the Discord if you need any helps. Let me know in the comments down below how long you have been playing Counter-Strike for. I'll catch you guys in the next one.